holy shit, what in the world? It sort of makes sense, but did God have a wife? And was she edited out of the Bible? Why would he create a world where everyone's got husbands and wives and not have one himself, so to say, as the common sense goes? But yeah, meet God's wife, God's secret wife, Asherah. So did he sort of have a remote affair when he artificially, remotely inseminated Mary of Magdalene, who was still only a kid at the time? Interesting. He impregnated his wife. What? She is the woman I have for you to marry one day. God is saying that the woman is... Did God have a wife? A celebration. Divine Mother, does God have a wife? God had a wife? I didn't know. The life of the wife was ended by the knife. To quote what is it? Family Guy. Was Asherah removed from the Bible? Interesting. I did not know this. My amiga just told me this. Like what? What? Looks like Medusa. Looks more like pagan. Looks like another pagan deity. She looks very pagan. Look at all the leaves in that. Interesting. Did God have a wife? Scholars say she did. God has a wife, Asherah, whom the Book of Kings suggests was worshipped alongside Yahweh in his temple in Israel. Will and Testament, did God have a wife? Did God have a wife? Is there proof that the Judeo-Christian God had a wife? I swear, what are these clowns saying? Lady of the Sea, the goddess of fertility. Oh yeah, this is pure paganism, this. Pagan lies. Middle East, formerly Jerusalem, Asherah pole, trees of life, especially Capri flanked, consort El, which means Lord, which means Saturn. Yahweh, El, significance and roles, is identified as the consort of Yahweh and the Sumerian god Anu and Ugatic El, the oldest deities of their respective pantheons. The name Dion, like Dionys in Roman, is that, yeah, let me just see what Dion is, which like Elat means goddess, is clearly associated with Asherah and the Phoenician history. Oh, this is pure paganism, this. Oh, yeah, me TV's unpaused. Where am I up to? Phoenician history of I don't know what that says, San Chuniathan, because the same common
Go through the 23s, and we've seen that already. He's not shy and bringing them forward and giving...
Stop it. Epithet of the goddess par excellence was used to describe her as a Ugarit.
So yeah, it'd be a big moment for him.
My TV just causing pause in it, but I've had it pause for too long, getting out of pause space. Yeah, iconography. There are many symbols associated. The symbols equivalent to the goddess have been taken for some time to be the sacred tree and the pubic triangle. What? Yeah, this is pagan. This very pagan. The clue is in the Phoenicians. Cakes, likely the way. Some have suggested that cakes were made in her image by use of moulds like the buxom and the hippie clay mould found at Mari. Snakes are associated with water, the abyss, bitter, poison and healing, just like the feminine. I was going to say the feminine divine and all that, right? In the ancient Near East, the earliest examples like Cretan and Egyptian art God said don't deal with cretins. The Bible says about cretins. And Egyptian art show a goddess holding snakes, which also appear to be lotuses. Curing poison seems to be impossible without the goddess. Mentions go together in places including Ugarit. Yoni. In addition to the ubiquitous cubic triangle, Ionic symbols are often used in goddess art. Sometimes a triangle is portrayed polysymmetrically as a grape cluster, or the yoni shape as the wings of the soaring eagle. Palm. An especially common azure tree in visual art is the date palm. Some expect living trees, but Olian sees the stylized non-living palm or pole. Oak, almonds, all these trees. Trees are important in the Bible. Very important, obviously. Like the oak almonds, which are really called fontukia in the almond tree, fontukia in Greek. When you translate the word back from Hebrew and from English into Hebrew and into Greek, you get fontukia. The almond may have its fertile association from its early blooming, which also gave it its other Hebrew name, Shaked, or vigilant watcher. The name Luz means light, and Luz and almond and BethEL, and that's what all my articles about, the house of BethEL and the house of El, house of God, and BethEL and the almond tree, and I did actually manage to decode and reverse engineer all of that myself, and I've got a big massive article about it all. Oh God. Yeah. In fact, I'll put the link to that article in the description for you. You can have a nose. It's the 5782 articles, I think it is. Yeah, okay. Okay, so this is the article here. Pablo Hazel Decoded. Hazel, right? BethEL's House of God, Satan, Pandemonium 2. 23rd of February 2021. We are recording again, yep. Right, so, Pablo Hasel. Right, Pablo Hasel riots leave mysterious clues to the hidden hand of chaos at play in 2021. He was a Spanish rapper who was getting accused of inciting terrorism with his songs. So then as we keep going, Hasel, which is then Hazel at the point. Just let me get to the more cryptic parts. His alleged date of birth is August the 9th. This is the 21st date, 221st date of the year, 222 in leap years. We have just left the leap year in 2020, so that is irrelevant, but here's something else that's noteworthy. It also leaves us with 144 days remaining. This is often a number I connect to Saturn with, 144,000 from the Bible. And sorry, not with, okay? Change the whole dynamics of what I was saying there. With, and. Teams by 33. Just pause it on these if you want. 88. Curbs. I'm just looking for the Fontukia. Pablo Hasel, devil in the details, the name game. Okay, that's 1,000 words out the way. Let's get more creative on this one. Pablo Hasel is the name I'm going to pay significant attention to now, as it is looking into Hazel that I uncovered the game show confirmation. Okay, my phone rang, so sorry, I'm just back here now. So I was up to the confirmation information, right? This made me publish this article, which will most likely end up in a video form, at the top of the post also. Hazel is Hazel, which is, Hazel is Hazel, which is Hazel, like the nut. The name Hasel or Hazel means God sees in Hebrew. This is leading us into the all-knowing, all-seeing omnipresence. Freemasons in the occult world, worshippers of Mystery Babylon, would see this as the all-seeing eye. So then this says here, a submission from India says the name Hazel means God sees and is of Hebrew origin. The name Hazel is derivative of the Hebrew word Hazael, meaning God sees. There are only a few places where this phrase is used in the Bible, and one of them is in the story of Abraham, Sarah, and Hagar. Hagar found out she was pregnant, and because of Sarah's mistreatment, she fled away towards her homeland. I thought this was going to be a very biblical decode from this point, and I centered on the word Hazel for my next investigations. I have highlighted numerous events that have hidden biblical references that can be discovered in current or historical events. I converted the word Hazel from Hebrew to English in a simple translation. The results are below. It comes out as Hazel. So when you type just the word Hazel, the name Hazel, there's the Spanish rapper Hasel, whatever his name was, I forgot his surname now. Hazel in Hebrew to English translation. So that's where that is. See, Hebrew. So there, Hebrew. English comes out as Hazel, right? You can see that left to right there on the screen. Next, I tried Hazel in English to Greek. This was the results. Hazel. So I've just converted it from Hebrew into English, and then I'm converting the result from English into Greek. This was the results. Hazel in English to Greek translation. Hazel in English to Greek gives us the word Fontukia, which means hazelnut tree or almond tree. Right, look, so there you can see that there, right? Hazel into the Greek comes out as this word here, which you can see just underneath it in the yellow. You've got the Greek spelling, and then you've got Fontukia. Fontukia in Greek to Hebrew translation. So when we translate Fontukia, translated from Greek to Hebrew, gives us the word, and then it's this symbol here, okay? Which is where the extra interesting things begin to unravel. So there you can see it, Fontukia in Greek, translated back to the Hebrew version, gives us this here. So from left to right again on the screen. Right, now, Fontukia, the almond tree. What have we got here? A few things. Hazel is Fontukia, which is hazelnuts and almond trees, etc. But in Greek to Hebrew, it gives us that symbol there, which is then Luz. Okay, Luz means light, like I said, in Strong's Bible search, and is the name of BethEL, the house of God, right, and the scene of Jacob's ladder. So look, see that word, the original word there, and then the translation is Luz, which means light, right? Definition, earlier name of BethEL, also a Hittite city, okay? BethEL. BethEL means house of God, right? El means God, Lord, right? So watch, Luz means light. Lucifer is known as the light bearer. This is found when we translate luz from Spanish to English. So luz, Spanish, means light in English. Freemasons and Luciferians worship the light bearer, so it was no surprise to find almonds were referenced in an online version of a Freemasonic Versus PDF. I think this is from initiation rituals. This led me into terms that remind me of the so-called Great Reset and the culling of the elderly, all ingested under the guise of COVID, that word. Masonic degree verse, right? Masonic degree verse within Freemason degrees and their biblical meanings. Now this is from one of their own websites, okay? Verse 5 from one of the Freemasons' own websites. Verse 5, and when they shall be afraid of that which is high, and fears shall be in the way, and the almond tree shall flourish, and the grasshopper shall burden, and the desire shall fail. The almond tree flourishes in Syria and in Israel in biblical terms. Pablo Hel Decoded. Right? So, almond tree in Ecclesiastes, right? 12 through to 5. Chapter 12, verse 5, sorry. There is a specific reference to the almond tree. Elsewhere in the Bible, its fruit and blossom are mentioned, mainly in Exodus. Okay, a delicious tree blossom. The almond tree has a special place in Israeli hearts as it blossoms gloriously before its leaves, and it sprouts. Now remember, this is all meant to be related to like God and not pagan stuff. So I'm managing to decode like all Luciferians and this all derived from all that paganism what we've seen. So, you know, do you understand? Now, I am actually baptised as a Catholic. I don't know whether anyone knows that or thought that's even possible, but yeah, so whoever, like, the real God is, if there's a real, like, actual God, or not question that, but the real actual God, yeah, that's my God. I'm not completely, like, what you'd say, atheist. You know, I'm not completely stupid, but I denounce anything that's, like, paganism, and it's repackaged into Christianity and repackaged into, like, meant to be what we're meant to be, like, following and stuff, and it's just like not I can see inconsistencies. I've studied and studied and studied, and you know what, people are a lot smarter than me have studied, and I've only learned off them. So, right, verse 5, when they shall be afraid of which is high and fear shall be in the way. Now, remember the time when I was writing this, okay? This is around CV, understand? Right, when they shall be afraid of that which is high and fear shall be in the way. Elderly people become unfamiliar with the speed of which the world changes. Also, as we become older, our reflex speed decreases, and things that we once tackled with abandon are now more cautious to attempt. Right, so that's them explaining what the verse means, right? And the grasshopper shall be a burden. No, sorry. And the almond tree shall flourish. Almond trees have large, delicate, snow-white blossoms, figuratively. This means that our hair turns to white, and the grasshopper shall be a burden. Now, this was all coming out, this Pablo Hel story, as CV was going on. There was another big political push, and you know, and the grasshopper shall be a burden. When we are young, hope springs eternal. The grasshoppers that plague the farmers were something to deal with by completely replanting the field. As a young man can withstand the total loss and look forward to the hope of the following seasons. Pablo Hasel, Hasel, house of God in BethEL, meaning hidden in his name. BethEL is the place in the Bible that is known as the Canaan land, or the land of Canaan. Now, Luz is a Canaanite word. The land of Canaan is the original regions of what is known as Israel. All of this is hidden in the name of Pablo Hel. So look, Luz is the ancient name of a royal Canaanite city connected with BethEL. It is debated among scholars whether Luz and BethEL represent one another, and at the same time, the former the Canaanite name and the latter the Hebrew name, or when they were distinct places, or whether they were distinct places in proximity to each other. Canaanites were Baal worshipping cannibals. They conducted human sacrifices and performed rituals to Moloch, otherwise known as Baal, Satan, Saturn, Nimrod, the Roman god. All of these names depict the same deity. They all include child sacrifice, most notably by fire. The ritualistic murders were known as burnt offerings. This is a subject I have covered many times on my website and on videos on my YouTube channel. So, 13 days of preparation, we've all seen that before. If not, just pause it now, and I don't want to read all that out. I've read it out 5,000 times in my life. So yeah, just pause a second, read if you want to take all that info. Do you know what? Let's just do it. 13 days of preparation. Occult significance of April 19th to May the 1st. April 19th is the first day of the 13-day satanic ritual day relating to fire. The fire god Baal or Moloch, Nimrod, the sun god, also known as the Roman god Saturn, Satan, devil. This day is a major human sacrifice day, demanding fire sacrifice with an emphasis on children. This day is one of the most important human sacrifice dates, and as such has had some very important historical events occur. Now, after what happened on the May the 1st, that's when the Beltane fires begin. That's when the Beltane festival starts for 6 days, for the next 6 days, okay? So you have the 13 days of preparation up through Beltane. Again, Beltane is the fire festival, fire sacrifices to Baal. We see with the word Beth is a girl's name that means pledged to God, Elizabeth, right? As shown below. It also shows how it is an abbreviated version of Elizabeth. What deity, God, does Queen Elizabeth bow down to? I am sure if you go digging you will find something interesting. I also point this out because the whole article asked the question of what god are these people worshipping. It appears to be Baal, Moloch. The name Beth is a girl's name meaning pledged to God. The sweetest and most sensitive of the pets for Elizabeth, also now one of the most dated, whatever that's saying. So there's a video that I've done. Oh no, there's a whole article that I've done. as well about the Queen being called BethEL. She gets called Elizabeth. Elijah, Beth. I've just thought of just when just the word playing on words. The Queen's occult Luciferian light bearers Christmas speech 2020. She did actually start going on about light and all that. The L in BethEL means Father of Heaven, Saturn, Satan, Pablo Hel. We know that Beth means pledging to God. So what does El mean in the rest of the word BethEL? The simple answer is Satan, Saturn. Just like we have already shown, but there is another hidden way that we have everyone worshipping, everyone worshipping the dark cube of Saturn, the Saturn death cult. This is why people start going on about Saturn and all that, Saturn alias, the death cult, okay? You'll over in the Summer Wells story, you hear like John Wells coming out straight away going on about Saturn on his Facebook page, or he said it in an interview or something. I was like, there you go, it's the Saturn death cult. Why is he even mentioning it? I could sit here listing examples for hours on end, pledging to God, Satan, LK is the breakdown of the word BethEL, pledging to God, Baal, or because it's L, no, the word L, that's Lord, and that's Baal. One of Baal's names is L. Okay, Saturn is L, and you've just seen up here that Saturn is the same as Baal and Moloch and Nimrod, and do you know what I mean? So, where are we now? The image below, right, L. Wait there, pledging to God, Saturn is the breakdown of the word BethEL, pledging to God or Moloch, the bull with horns. So why do you see the big bull in, where is it? Is it in New York? Father of Heaven, El, the Father of Heaven, Saturn, and his major son. Hadad, Father of Earth, Jupiter, are symbolised both by the bull. Both bulls wear horns. El, deity. BethEL, house of El, or house of God. The image below is from an account on Twitter run by Nadia Singh that highlights Ishtar, which is something I've covered on this website before now also. The post highlights the same things repeating in different cultures and belief systems throughout the history, and they all point to the same deities and places that are repackaged versions of ancient Babylon. You will notice BethEL is one of the locations listed on the image. It also cites ritualistic cannibalism, human sacrifices, advanced knowledge of masonry and astronomy, ritual magic, and drugs, as well as dragons when Enki is mentioned. So that's all the stuff that's on here. Look, we've got fertility, we've got eggs, we've got crescent moons upside down, you've got beehives. Is that a beehive? Like the hive mentality then. There is a beehive on here somewhere. Foundation nail. Ishtar came to earth on an egg, didn't she? BethEL, house of God. Ritual cannibalism. Look at the phallic symbols as well. Ritual cannibalism, similar rituals, human sacrifices, use of drugs, dragons, advanced knowledge of masonry and astronomy. Ritual decapitation, sacrifice of celestial bull, Göbekli Tepe. Where are those gods replacing eating previous ones and using their DNA coming from meteorites preserving their spores, knowledge, genetic of material and parasites, of lives belonging to an extinguished solar system compatible with ours. Enki's phallic snake. So there's a lot on here, can you see? Do you see what I see? Right, Canaanites, astronomy awareness, and Jacob's ladder battle. Now we arrive in the story of Jacob's ladder, which can be found in the book of Genesis, chapter 28. Jacob was fleeing from his brother Esau when he had a dream about a stairway to heaven appearing, from which God appeared and selected the chosen people of Israel. He then named the location of BethEL and declared it the gate of heaven. It can be argued that the angels and deities that Jacob saw coming from the sky could have been celestial planets. We now know quite well that the mass sacrifices were conducted by Canaanites worshipping gods and planets such as Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, and bodies such as the sun. Jacob's ladder, Wikipedia info. Yet another interpretation of this is the place at which Jacob stopped for the night in reality was Mount Moriah, the future home of the Temple of Jerusalem. The ladder therefore signifies the bridge between heaven and earth, and as prayers and sacrifices offered in the Holy Temple serves as a connection between God and the Jewish people. Moreover, the ladder alludes to the giving of the Torah and as another connection between heaven and earth. So this is... And Jacob went out to Beersheba and went towards Haran, and he lighted up upon the place, and tarried there all night, because the sun was set. And he took one of the stones of the place, and put it under his head, and lay down in that place to sleep. And he dreamed, and behold, a ladder set on the earth, and the top of it reached to the heaven, and behold, the angels of God ascending on and descending on it. This is me God voice, me Bible voice. And behold, not me God voice, me Bible voice. And behold, the Lord stood beside him, and said, I am the Lord, the God of Abraham, and my father, and the God of Isaac. The land whereupon thou liest, to thee will give it, and to thy seed. So, I think you get it. I can't read for that long in that voice. Yeah. Anyway, I'll leave the link for this article in the description, so you can come and check out all the little things that are, just all the little words that are highlighted and underlined and throughout it, and little topics and blah blah de blahs. Yeah, little mention of Noahide laws there. There's number 7 Noahide laws. 7. Anyway, this is Enchanted Life Pat TV. Thanks for watching. I'm going to go and watch the football. Speak soon.